Oh my God. Deontay the Bronze Bomber Wilder from Tuscaloosa, Alabama, ex-WBC champion in the world. Deontay the Bronze Bomber Wilder is looking like he's in vicious shape right now. What's next for him, we don't know. But Ego Weight Watchers coming up. Stay tuned. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Make sure you smash the like button. Also, subscribe to my channel for the latest and greatest in boxing. UFC 261, Usman, Jorge Masvidal. Coming up tomorrow. Use my link in the description, ESPN Plus pay-per-view. Get UFC 261 if you plan on watching it. Using my link does help the channel continue to grow. Easy way to get to it is hit the link tree, and it should be the top link. So appreciate everybody who's already ordered. I checked the analytics, and some of you guys have already clicked on the link, and we're tracking for that fight, UFC 261. I'll be tapped in. Should be a good Saturday night fight. Masvidal has a full camp this time, unlike last fight, and the winner's probably going to fight Colby Covington. So I'm definitely looking forward to it to see what unfolds. Now, you guys see the picture in the thumbnail, Ego Weight Watchers, aka ILL, where I give you a look into the fighter lifestyle before, after, and progress pics, especially when they have an upcoming fight, often imitated but never duplicated. Now, I don't know when Deontay Wilder's next fight is. There's some things that have to be worked out. Wilder hasn't really spoken. And to be honest, boxing is getting so crazy that a lot of misinformation is being put out. You know, people are saying that Floyd Mayweather is fighting Logan Paul June 5th, and then Steven Espinoza gets on an interview and says June 5th was never the date. We never were looking at June 5th. I don't know where people came up with that date, right? You have fights like Crawford and Pacquiao that is rumored and has been rumored for the Middle East. You have Tyson Fury versus Anthony Joshua that a lot of people, Eddie Hearn, keeps like hinting to is next, and the announcement is coming and stringing people along. So boxing is getting weird. You know, the pandemic is obviously hurting people. They're trying to create clickbait or excitement or whatever the situation is. So I'm not listening to anybody unless it's like for Wilder's comeback, whatever's next. I want to hear from Wilder or authorized parties of Wilder, you know, PBC or somebody like that. But until then, I don't know what's next for Wilder. However, Malik Scott posted this picture, and the two are working. Again, I'm saying this loosely because I don't know. I haven't spoken with him, but there were reports that Malik Scott was going to be one of Wilder's trainers. We know Mark Breland is not Wilder's trainer at this point. JD's is still Wilder's trainer, to our knowledge, and we have to see. Again, I want like boxing is in a real tight spot where you got to take what you hear with a grain of salt, right? Because you have, again, people like Eddie Hearn advocating for a fight with Joshua Fury in another country, in Saudi Arabia, and we don't even know the outcome to this arbitration with Fury and Wilder. And Eddie Hearn is not part of the actual court case or the arbitration process, so he could do and say whatever he wants on his end. But if you're not privy to the information, you don't really know what's going on. I don't think any of us outside of the parties involved truly know what the verdict will be or exactly how it'll play out and what it means for each fighter. So it's just crazy to see Eddie Hearn trying to schedule another fight. So for me, take this, even my video, take it loosely, because I would rather hear from Wilder or speak with Wilder and find out for sure who's on his team and who's his trainer and who's not, if he's bringing in an additional set of eyes. Listen, there's a lot of craziness going on in boxing. Like Jamal Charlo, he posted a picture with his trainer, Ronnie Shields, and then also Mark Breland. And he said something to the effect of, welcome Breland to the Lion's Den. So I made a video, but I didn't know what that meant. I didn't know if he was bringing him in for additional set of eyes. I said we have to wait more until Jamal Charlo updates and clarifies what the situation is. The very next day, Jamal Charlo comes out and he says, y'all hating. I've known Mark Breland since I was 10, and Mark Breland is not my trainer. So there's a lot of craziness in the sport of boxing. To me, it makes boxing look disorganized, disheveled, and unprofessional, because everybody wants to be in the know, everybody wants to be first, and there's a lot of people being first, but they're being first with wrong information. You know what I'm saying? So I try to stay away from a lot of that, and I try to wait. I try to make sure the sources are valid before I get the video. But, you know, we live in a digital age, clickbait's out and stuff like that. But as far as Deontay Wilder, Ego Weight Watchers before after pics, Wilder always stays in shape. I could tell from other pictures. I was actually going to make this funny because I was actually making this video regardless. And there's a bunch of pictures with Wilder where he has his shirt. He didn't even come up out the shirt. And I was already going to make the video because to me, I could tell that he's working out and I could tell that he's maintaining his shape, right? And I created the Ego Weight Watchers series where we start looking into people's camps and progress pics and stuff like that. And a lot of people do it now, but you know where it started. And I was already going to make the video because I seen a lot of recent pictures from Wilder and he looked to be in good form. So what is Tyson Fury going to do? You know, I think a lot of it is contingent on the verdict or whatever the ruling is from the arbitration judge. But there's a lot of people that there's going to be a lot of slow singing and flower bringing if my burger alarm starts ringing, right? There's going to be a lot of slow singing because Wilder looks to be in great spirits. We heard months ago that Wilder was depressed and he was having a difficult time or difficulty embracing the loss. And I told you at that time, I know people in Wilder's camp, they weren't saying anything like that to me. So it's like, where did that even come from? So you got a lot of people, again, as I've said throughout this video, in boxing that are supposed to be authorities and they're misrepresenting the facts or putting out what they want to be the facts or whatever. Everything I've seen from Wilder, he looks like he's chilling. You know, his wifey does a lot of business, so she looks like she's been real successful with her businesses and stuff like that. And he looks very supportive of that, of her, you know, doing charity work or little private businesses and things like that. He looks like he has a lot of business meetings and, you know, formal dinners and chefs and on boats and yachts. It like Wilder's life looks lit. So I'm like looking at it and I'm like, where are people getting this that Wilder is depressed? You know, he has a new hairstyle from probably the last time we've seen him. He looks like he's maintaining his shape. Like you could tell from his forearms. There's pictures he's not even flexing and his forearm look all brolic. It looked like he's clearly doing something. I don't know. He says he doesn't really run in the past. I don't know if that's changed, but doing water aerobics or swimming drills or push-ups, whatever he's doing, it looks like he's maintaining himself. He has not fought since the Fury 3 fight in February of 2020, right before the pandemic. So it's been over a year at this point, and Wilder looks good. Meanwhile, Fury had a video where he took his shirt off and he was at a beach, and he looked kind of like portly. You know, he didn't look like he was in the best shape. So it'll be real interesting to see how this all plays out with Deontay the Bronze Bomber Wilder and Tyson Fury. And I don't see how people get behind Tyson Fury behavior-wise, because a lot of what he says doesn't show to be true. He said he was fighting December 5th. That wasn't true. He didn't fight December 5th. He said he couldn't fight Wilder because Wilder's rematch clause expired. Before that, he said the reason was because Wilder had took too long and kept pushing the dates around, even though his whole promoter, Bob Arum, and the network he fights on in America, ESPN, have several articles where they listed the global pandemic with the Rona as the reason why both networks, both Fox and ESPN, had agreed to push the fight for Wilder Fury in search of or in need of a crowd and the live gate and, you know, capacities to come back as the true reason why the date needed to be pushed into 2021. Now you see the world starting to slowly come back little by little, and they got vaccinations out. People are getting vaccinations. It's not foolproof, but you see little by little, like Conor McGregor is getting ready to fight in Las Vegas, and he's doing it with the full crowd. So there's shows that are starting to come back and starting to fill out and things like that. So it made all the sense in the world, but it was Tyson Fury and his weirdo behavior that in his anxiousness, where in the pandemic, and that's like true, he's failed drug tests before. That's like true crackhead fashion to me, where you're so antsy, you can't sit still and you can't wait. So Fury imposed this like notion that he was going to move on with or without Wilder, and I thought that was really weird that he was that antsy and he had to fight. It looks like he's trying to get out of the fight with Wilder, and he tried to tell the world that it was Wilder who was avoiding him for the trilogy, but Wilder is remain composed, remain ready, staying in shape, and he has you in an arbitration trying to force the trilogy, try to force you to stay true to your end of the bargain despite anything else, based on the global pandemic and an understanding and a pact that was made with two companies. So to me, this just looks really bad for Fury. I don't see how anybody is out here cheering for Joshua versus Fury when this is unfinished business, in my opinion. The other thing is this. Truth be told, I think Wilder is the better fight, the trilogy with Wilder, based on the styles. It is proven to me that Wilder and Tyson Fury, from the first two fights, they have compelling build-ups and compelling fights. Their styles mesh and gel to the point where they give us excitement. Joshua Fury is a whole different new bag, and we don't even know, because Joshua, I don't think he looked terrific in his last two fights since he's been stopped. So the Ruiz fight dropped his stock heavily, and then he didn't look great in the Ruiz rematch, and he ran. So I don't even know how Fury and Joshua's style would even gel, but they're seeming to want to leave Wilder in the dust, and I don't think that's cool. Let me know what you guys think. Wilder looks to be in monster shape. Use my link in the description to get TUBEBUDDY. Take your YouTube channel to the next level. If you're a professional just starting out, I've used TUBEBUDDY for years. Click on my link for TUBEBUDDY. Take your YouTube channel to the next level and optimize your videos. If you really want to get views, you want to be ranked in SEO. And I started off with 0 subscribers. We have over 200,000. Enough said. Invest in yourself. I'm always going to say that. Invest in yourself. It takes money to make money. See, I spend money, before I even did the partnership with TUBEBUDDY, I spent money on TUBEBUDDY for years without any problem. And I grew my brand. Y'all could do the same thing. See, a lot of people, they want the success, but they also want shortcuts. But stay tuned to the channel. I'll be talking more on some different things. But Wilder, he looks to be in tremendous shape. Click my links in the description. We're going to continue building this empire and working. I'll wait for the outcome from the arbitration and anything from Wilder, particularly to see what's next with him. Drop it in the comment section as always. Hate, comment, and subscribe. Till next video, it's Ego signing off. Are you tired of your YouTube videos not getting any views? Well, consider TUBEBUDDY. I've used TUBEBUDDY for years to scale up my YouTube channel. Now we're sitting over 200,000 subscribers. TUBEBUDDY is a browser extension that offers a ton of built-in productivity and time-saving services to take your